Councilman Brenny?
Here.
Frederick?
Here.
Hanson? Johnston is absent. Muska?
Here.
Okay, the reason the meeting was called this morning is that we met with Snyder and Associates this week. They proposed a new plan and we want to discuss our options because we have to move forward. Also, I'm going to speak to Colin this morning and he is to write a letter to the DNR on our behalf. And I will let you know about that when I find out. So, Jim, do you want to talk about what Snyder and Associates told us the other day when they were here? Please.
Yeah, they come back with another alternative to put in like a holding cell, because they had our old plant's designed for 1.2 million, and I'm speaking here from memory, but 2 million gallons per day. And with the infiltration of the groundwater in the bad sewer lines, we're actually treating some days as high as 2.2 million. And that's what causes us to go out of compliance with DNR. So the original design for 7 million plus was to build a new plant to treat 2.2 million gallons, which puts the cost way up there. We told them that we had talked to Mr. Neil Keel and about some other alternatives, so they went back to drawing board and come back with another alternative that would basically rehab the plant, fix everything in there, replace, fix, update, and then we would treat to 1.1 million gallons, but we'd also have to build what I would say basically a temporary lagoon to hold any extra water that comes in through our infiltration. They had that cost at about $5.2 million, not counting the land of the cost of land of the lagoon, and we don't know if we can buy the land. We need about 5 acres. So from Snyder's we got basically two choices. One is what the original deal was for nearly $7 million, and I'm rounding off. Nearly $7 million for this one for 5.2 without any land cost, so you probably 5.5 when we're done. So that's their scenario.
Bob, would you like to speak to it today? Would you like to share with us some of your concerns that you visited with me about, please?
Well, the Snyders did come back with a different proposal. Basically, I thought they really didn't do anything for it. I mean, they're still trying to persuade us to a new plant. The cost to rejuvenate the old one, the figures are way high, I think. Maybe they're not, but they just seem high. My thoughts is rejuvenate the old plant, put a new roof on it, because we're going to have to put a roof on it anyway, and use the plant. Because the way Neil talked, and I think Snyder's even in a roundabout way said that redo the plant, add a clarifier if needed to be, more sludge storage, and
Well, that's
use it. I mean, we've got a building there that isn't that bad. It needs some attention. Like a house or anything needs a little TLC. And
our other alternative was we did meet with Neil, and I think we kept the council up to date on that. I met with Neil Keel, who was designing the original plant, and he had information that we had from that site that Snyder sent to DNR. And he come back and you got it in front of you, what he thought could be done. Now this is what we call in engineering field a swag method, scientific wildlife gas. So I wouldn't put, that's what it is. It's a scientific gas.
And I feel like the cost of some of this equipment, if you could compare Snyder's cost with Neil's cost, I think it'd be somewhere in between, because Snyder said they went high, and I think if that's the case, then Neil might have gone a little bit low on some things, so it's probably not going to be perfect. But,
And I don't know, some of Gary's worked with, Bob worked with Neil or Keel and Power before. I don't know if Neil well enough to know if he's blowing smoke and putting these numbers low enough and
Trying to get the
gets
bids.
the job and comes back in and that's, well,
I think his figures are a little bit conservative or low, but even if we have to pay slightly more, it's cheaper.
The time frame that Snyder had, why can't their figures be more conservative as well? You know what I mean? I mean, why does it take Neil to have to open the eyes of Snyder to say something needs to be done?
We might get that bid high though, Brian, just so it would come in. So when we do actually get the bids on this, on the equipment and stuff, it would come in lower than that. That's the reason why they sometimes hit high.
makes them look good. But then again, what we're dealing with here is, our bottom line to me is, there's about 3 things we need to decide on. The first thing is, okay, do we just forget about what we've done here in the last 6 weeks, go to the Cadillac 7-point million and be done? Or do we go with an alternative, and in that case, do we go with Snyder, and do we go with Neil Keel?
Bob, what was their estimated life on the building itself if it was rehabbed? It was with the reconditioned. Are they looking at it?
Originally designed, I think, was probably 20 years.
We got 30
And
on
it's
it.
surpassed that.
Neil said the first thing we needed to do before he'd go too far would be to hire a structural engineer to come and look at the building. That will tell us exactly what needs to be done with that building to make it functional.
Is that cost already assumed in his bid?
I don't think so.
Well, I believe that was above.
Above the 2 point, what did you see there, 2.9 million.
2.96.
Yeah. And then we'd have some more engineering costs because Snyder is, you know, we already got those. So.
Do you get the feel that Neil Keel's, alternative, is it a long-term thing or is it a short-term fix?
That's what I'm.
he said 20 years, but I don't know.
I think it would. You know, either company that we go with, we need, and Snyder's are ducking it, seems like. We need to fight the infiltration and inflow.
Yep.
And Snyder seemed to be ducking around that issue. If we can cut some of that down, or 50% of it, there's a possibility what we have, and that's why I'm saying
Well, that's what-
rejuvenate the plant and it'll handle it.
That's what Neil thought, and the whole thing is that if we would work with DNR and get them to say, give us a chance to, and work on getting this infiltration, and from what Alvin says, and I think you too, Bob, is that with slip lining this stuff down here, that we can probably drop half of that
We're trading
infiltration
the
off.
2.2, and that's what they're designing for. I mean, if we
They're
finish
holding
the
for
in-
it.
right.
They're still holding for that, which from engineering, I think professionally, they're
That's-
probably
that's
doing what they
good.
think is right. And I was talking to somebody, when they put this new road or work in up there and they did all that tiling, they dumped all that tile water from like back up there to, what's the farmer's name out here, the young kid? Well, he ain't a young kid anymore.
Highland?
Yeah, they dumped all that tile water right into the sanitary sewer line up here at the highway.
It was.
Okay.
That's been corrected.
Has been corrected?
Well, we done that years ago.
But there's probably a lot of little lines
Oh, yeah.
hooked into it someplace.
Is it realistic that we can get that I&I down? I mean, without
You'll
spending...
never get it 100%, but yes,
Right.
I think we could get